Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudevi Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nitam Shloke Bhattir Bhavati Nashtaki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, text number 14 onwards. So Sukadeva Goswami is starting to answer Parikshit Maharaj's further questions. But before answering, he is praying to Krishna for his mercy to speak, to be able to speak. Namo namaste asturishabhai satvatam vidur kashtai muhuku yoginam nirastasamyamsate namaha. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him, who is the associate of the members of the Yadu dynasty, and who is always a problem for the non-devotees. He is the supreme enjoyer of both the material and spiritual worlds, yet he enjoys his own abode in the spiritual sky. There is no one equal to him because his transcendental opulence is immeasurable. So this is how he enjoys in the spiritual sky. There are two sides of the transcendental manifestations of the Supreme Lord, Shri Krishna. For the pure devotees, he is a constant companion, as in the case of his becoming one of the family members of the Yadu dynasty, or his becoming the friend of Arjuna, or his becoming the associate neighbor of the inhabitants of Vrindavan. As the son of Nandi Yashoda, the friend of Sudama, Sridhama, and Madhamangal, or the lover of the damsels of Rajabhumi, etc. That is a part of his personal features. And by his impersonal feature, he expands the rays of the sun. Part of this all-pervasive Brahmajyoti, which is compared to the sun rays, is covered by the darkness of the Mahatattva. And this insignificant part is known as the material world. In this material world, there are innumerable universes, like the one we can experience. And in each of them, there are hundreds of thousands of planets like the one we are inhabiting. The mundaners are more or less captivated by the unlimited expansion of the ways of the Lord. But the devotees are concerned more with this personal form from which everything is emanating. Janmadhyasya Vitaha. As the sun rays are concentrated in the sun disk, the Brahmajyoti is concentrated in Golok Vrindavan, the topmost spiritual planet in the spiritual sky. The innumerable, immeasurable spiritual sky is full of spiritual planets named Vaikunthas, far from the material sky. The mundaners have insufficient information of even the mundane sky, so what they can think of the spiritual sky. Therefore, the mundaners are always far, far, far away from it. Even if in the future they are able to manufacture some machine whose speed may be accelerated to the velocity of the wind or mind, the mundaners will still be unable to imagine reaching the planets in the spiritual sky. So the Lord and his residential abode will always remain a myth or a mysterious problem. But for the devotees, the Lord will always be available as an associate. So Prabhupada, in a nutshell, he is explaining the position of spiritual sky and the material world. Spiritual sky, there are unlimited number of Vaikuntha planets. The topmost planet is Golok Vrindavan, and from where Krishna resides, and from his body, this Brahmajyoti is emanating. That's the effulgence of his body. And this Brahmajyoti all over the spiritual world with innumerable Vaikuntha planets, and the material world, which is just one insignificant part of this Brahmjyoti, the Mahatattva, which is called. And in that, there are innumerable material universes, very small compared to the spiritual world. And in one of those universes, there are hundreds and thousands of planets, and Prabhupada said, out of which, on which one of the planets we are residing at right now. So materialists, those who are not devotees, they cannot understand, they can't even fathom, they cannot even conceive of the opulence of Krishna. The whole creation, it's mind-boggling. In the spiritual sky, his opulence, all the spiritual planets, the innumerable Vaikuntha planets, by expanding his plenary portions, along with this liberated devotee associates, but the impersonalists who want to merge in the existence of the Lord are allowed to merge as one of the spiritual sparks of the Brahmjyoti. They have no qualification for becoming associate of the Lord, either in the Vaikuntha planets or in the supreme planet, Golok Vrindavan, described in Bhagavad Gita as Madhama, and here in this verse as Sudham of the Lord. So the people, those impersonalists, like somehow in Bhagavad Gita also we are at the same place where Arjun asks which one is better, personalist or impersonalist. Impersonalists who are meditators on the Brahmjyoti, and the personalists who are worshippers of the personal form. Which one is better? And Krishna did explain that. But here, Sukadeva Goswami is also speaking, or Prabhupada is speaking in the purport. The impersonal spirit soul is one with the Lord. It can be only one with the Lord in the sense that it can merge in Brahmjyoti. But even in merging Brahmjyoti, like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the spirit soul never ever loses its identity. So even in Brahmjyoti, it remains as a spark in the Brahmjyoti. It doesn't just vanish. Nothing can happen to the spirit soul. The Lord's Swadham does not require any sunlight or moonlight or electricity for illumination. The dham or place is supreme, and whoever goes there never comes back to this material world. The Vaikuntha planets and Golok Vrindavan planet are all self-illuminating, and the rays scattered by those Swadham of the Lord constitute the existence of the Brahmjyoti. In the Swadham, Swadham means his own planet or own home. There is no need of sun, moon, stars for illumination, nor is there any need of electricity. So what to speak of igniting lamps? On the other hand, it's because those planets are self-illuminating that all effulgence has become possible. And whatever there is that is dazzling is due to the reflection of that Swadham. So that Swadham, where Krishna himself is residing, or the Golok Vrindavan, that is the source of Brahmjyoti. And because Krishna is there, and that is the source of all the illumination all over the Vaikuntha planets. Just like in a given universe, the sun planet gives the light for the whole universe. So similarly, in the spiritual universe, Golok Vrindavan is the source of all the light. You cannot know the person transcends. Therefore, in Shri Ishopanishad, it is clear that Lord shift his dazzling effulgence so that the devotee can see the real reality. So in Ishopanishad, it is mentioned that, oh my Lord, you please remove this dazzling effulgence of Brahmjyoti so I can look at your real face. O Lord, you are the maintainer of everything, both material and spiritual, and everything flourishes by your mercy. Your devotional service or bhakti yoga is the actual principle of religion, Satya Dharma, and I am engaged in that service. So kindly protect me by showing your real face. Please therefore remove the veil of your Brahm Jyoti ray so that I can see your form of eternal bliss and knowledge. So devotee says, I'm not capable of removing that effulgence from your face. I'm not capable of getting rid or going beyond Brahm Jyoti. Only you can do that for me. That's the mood of a devotee. And this is how Sukadeva Goswami is praying to the Lord. And next verse is very beautiful. Text 15. Yat kirtanam, yat smaranam, yad ikshanam, yad vandanam, yat shravanam, yad arhanam. Lokasya sadhyo vidunoti kalmisham. Tasmai smudra shravase namo namaha. Let me offer my respectful obeisances until the all auspicious Lord Shri Krishna, about whom glorification, remembrances, audience, prayers, hearing, and worship to perform. So this is the potency of Krishna's glorification, remembrance, audience, means taking darshan, prayers, hearing, worship. It can remove the effects of all the sins. The sublime form of religious performances to free oneself from all reactions of sins is suggested herein by the greatest authority, Sri Sukadeva Goswami. Kirtanam, or glorifying the Lord, can be performed in very many ways, such as remembering, visiting temples to see the deity, offering prayers in front of the Lord, and hearing recitations of glorification of the Lord, as they are mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam or the Bhagavad Gita. Kirtanam can be performed both by singing the glories of the Lord in accompaniment with melodious music and by recitation of scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. So this is all part of Kirtanam. The devotees need not be disappointed in the physical absence of the Lord, though they may think of not being associated with Him. The devotional process of chanting, hearing, remembering, etc., either all or some of them, or even one of them, can give us the desired result of associating with the Lord by discharging the transcendental loving service of the Lord in the above. So the name of Krishna is not different from Krishna. Thinking of Krishna is not different from personal association with Krishna. That's why it's so powerful. Why? Because it's all on the absolute plane. In the spiritual world, there is no duality. There is no difference between the person and his name. Like here, there is duality. If somebody calls me, Vilupriya, I'm sitting here, I'm not over there, wherever he is calling me from. But Krishna and Krishna's name are not different. When we call Krishna, he's right there, wherever his devotees are, wherever whoever is calling his name. Of course, we are not pure enough to see that. But that doesn't mean he's not there. He's right there. We must know definitely that the Lord is present wherever such pure transcendental service is performed. And as a performer of offenseless kirtanam has positive association with the Lord. One similarly, remembrance and prayers also can give us a desired result if they are properly done under expert guidance. One should not concoct forms of devotion service. One may worship the form of the Lord in a temple, or one may impersonally offer the Lord devotion prayers in a mosque or a church. One is sure to get free from the reactions of sins, provided one is very careful about not committing sins willingly in expectation of getting free from the reactions of sins by worshipping in the temple or by offering prayers in a church. So one can get freed from all the reactions of sins, provided he does not commit them again. And especially he does not commit them again on the strength of the holy name. That I'll chant the holy name or I'll go to the temple and my sins will be vanished. It will not happen. This is Prabhupada's writing. The mentality of committing sins willfully on the strength of devotional service is called namno balad yasya papa buddhi. And it is the greatest offense in the discharge of devotional service. Hearing, therefore, is essential in order to keep oneself strictly on guard against such pitfalls of sins. And in order to give special stress to the hearing process, the Goswami invokes all auspicious fortune in this matter. So he starts the verse with, yet removes all the sinful reactions from the life of a performer. Not just removes the sins, not just removes the reactions of the sins, it also removes the inclination to commit sinful activity. That's even more important. That's even more powerful. Because later on we will see Sukadeva Goswami, he tests Parikshit Maharaj. Because in the middle of Tapa, he wanted to make sure Parikshit Maharaj is attentively listening. So he tested. And Parikshit Maharaj, of course, he is such a great devotee, he passes that test. So this is the potency of devotional service. It removes even the inclination, any desire to commit sins. Because one is so much absorbed, getting so much of pleasure in bhakti of Krishna, in serving Krishna, in hearing and chanting about him, remembering him, worshipping him, praying to him, that he doesn't want to commit any sin. He has no fear. All his time, everything is invested in serving Krishna. So this is the beauty of devotion service. Text 16. Vichakshana yat charanopasadna sangam vidasyobhyato antaratmanaha vindanti hi brahmagatim gatacha gatvamas tasmai svadrashalavase namo namaha. Let me offer my respectful obeisances again and again unto the all auspicious Lord Shri Krishna. The highly intellectual, simply by surrendering unto his lotus feet, are relieved of all attachments to present and future existences, and without difficulty progress towards spiritual existence. So this is the way to go to spiritual world, by surrendering unto the lotus feet of Krishna. So this removes all the attachments of present and future existences. Why? Because one gets completely attached to Krishna, then all other attachments, they cannot bother. In fact, they get removed. Lord Shri Krishna has repeatedly instructed Arjuna, or for that matter, everyone concerned, with becoming his unalloyed devotee. In the last phase of his instruction in Bhagavad Gita, he is instructed most confidentially as follows. My dear Arjuna, you are very dear to me. And therefore, only for your good, I will disclose the most secret part of my instructions. It's simply this: become a pure devotee of mine and give yourself unto me only. And I promise you full spiritual existence, by which you may gain the eternal right of transcendental loving service unto me. Just give up all other ways of religiosity and exclusively surrender unto me. and believe that I will protect you from your sinful acts and I shall deliver you. Do not worry anymore. So all we have to do is try to be devotee of Krishna. That's the last instructions of the spiritual realization, which is called confidential knowledge. And a step further is God realization, which is called more confidential knowledge. The culmination of the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is God realization. And when one attains this stage of God realization, he naturally, voluntarily becomes a devotee of the Lord and service. This devotional service to the Lord is always based on love of God and is distinct from the nature of routine service as prescribed in Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Jnana Yoga. In the Bhagavad Gita, there are different instructions for such men of different categories. And there are various descriptions for Varnashram, Dharma, Sannyas, Dharma, Yati, Dharma, renounced order of life, controlling the senses, meditation, perfect and mystic powers, etc. But one fully surrenders unto the Lord to render service out of spontaneous love for Him. Factually, yes. So this surrender to the Lord, surrendering to His instructions, it surpasses every other activity that one can think of in making spiritual advancement. Like Varnashram Dharma, Sannyas Dharma, Yati Dharma. Yati means one who, like a Parivrajkacharya, who roams around and preaches. Renounce order of life like sannyasi, controlling the senses, meditation. There's so many things people do. But if one is surrendered unto Krishna, it surpasses everybody else. Because this is the topmost stage. As enunciated by Sukadeva Goswami on the basis of Vedic assurances, Brahma Gati means to attain a spiritual form as good as that of the Lord. And in that form, the liberated living being eternally lives on one of the spiritual planets situated in the spiritual sky. Attainment of this perfection of life is easily available to a pure devotee of the Lord without his undergoing any difficult method of perfection. Such a devotional life is full of kirtanam, smaranam, ikshanam, etc. as mentioned. Simple way of devotional life in order to attain the highest perfection available in any category of the human form of life in any part of the world. And not just the world, we can say any part of the universe. This is the highest perfection. To surrender unto Krishna or to perform pure devotional service. So Lord Brahma also says, Bhakti Yoga is the highest quality of perfection to be achieved by the intelligent person in lieu of performing a large quantity of spiritual activities. The example cited here is very appropriate. A handful of real paddy is more valuable than heaps of paddy skins without any substance within. Similarly, one should not be attracted by the jugglery of karma kanda, gyan kanda, or even the gymnastic performances of yoga, but skillfully should take to the simple performances of kirtanam, smaranam, etc. under a bona fide spiritual master, and without any difficulty attain the highest perfection. Many times people, they try to go for difficult processes like karma kanda or the penances or the austerities, thinking to attain Krishna is so difficult and bhakti is so easy. How can you attain Krishna by doing such a simple process? Actually, bhakti is not easy. Pure devotion service, which Prabhupada again and again talks about, it's not at all easy. It's very difficult to perform. Right now we are performing bhakti, or we are trying. But to come to the level of from sadhana to raganuga bhakti to bhav bhakti to prema bhakti, it it will take some time. It will take some time. But at the same time, it is mango, and when it is ripe, it is still a mango. So right now, our mango of our bhakti is very green. It's very like unripe, but it's still a mango. And when by our sadhana, the heat of sadhana bhakti, we make the mango ripe, and it becomes ripe, really juicy and succulent, and really good aroma coming out, and good smell, looks good, very pulpy. It will still be mango, but it will be very sweet, very juicy mango. So we have to keep on performing our sadhana bhakti. That's all it is. That's the whole process. That's the whole idea. And in sadhana bhakti, we do our chanting and hearing and reading and association and service in the right mood. And then we slowly we make progress. And then we become a real juicy mango for Krishna to come and taste it and eat it. So I'll stop here. See anybody have any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, brother. Thank you.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila. So we'll stop here. Take